Hey guys, this is Chris from Empire Bricks and welcome to another LEGO Star Wars set review. Today we're having a look at set 75152, the Imperial Assault Hovertank. It was released last year in 2016. It comes with 385 pieces, it has 3 minifigures and it retails for $29.99 in dollars and $39.99 in euros. So, like always, let's start with the minifigures. There's some really cool ones, but let's start with the first one. And that is Chirrut Imwe, one of the big heroes of the Rogue One movie, of course. Blind, which they actually portrayed pretty well with the eyes. And this is overall a pretty great minifigure. First off, his weapons. He has 2. I'm starting with the weapons so I can remove them afterwards. First is his laser crossbow. It's not the same as Chewbacca has, I think, but it's brick built and it looks amazing. So it's based off this large standard blaster with a Technic piece and some golden bull horns and a cone piece on top. And that looks pretty awesome. And it's attached to this backpack piece with a clip, so you can hold it with him all the time. I'm going to put it on the side for a moment, turn him around because he has a second weapon. And that is, of course, his staff, which is made of 2 lightsaber hilts in gunmetal gray, I think, and 2 reddish brown bars. And it's a pretty long one, so it's kind of hard to hold it in the middle because the bottom end will come out there. But still, it's pretty awesome that he has 2 weapons, all brick built, so that's pretty awesome. Putting that on the side as well to have a look at this character in detail. Because he has some pretty cool printing on the front, some sashes and like a belt clip or a weapon or some sort. On the back there is also, let's remove the clip for a second, some printing, but it's mostly just wrinkles in his cloth and those same sashes that you saw on the front. Putting the clip back on. On the front he does not have leg printing. But that's not really necessary because he has this awesome cool robe that he has on. So it's kind of the same as those waistcapes that clone troopers sometimes have. It's still in the old, not soft material, but still that works for the robe. And it has some really nice detailing that this is not actually straight, but if you fold it over each other, then the patterns actually match up perfectly. I might have gotten lucky in the way that I folded it, but this just looks awesome. I'm really happy with that. And another detail that I like is that they included 1 white hand instead of 2 flesh hands to simulate the glove that he wears. And he has a just kind of regular hairpiece, but it's kind of accurate. And if we take it off, then we can actually see that Chirrut Imwe has a secondary face that is more as if he is in a trance or something. So let's turn that around for a second. It's new Lego, so it's kind of sturdy. Put the hairpiece back on. But yeah, I think this is an overall great minifigure, and I really like the crossbow, and the staff is pretty cool as well. So putting him over here, coming to the next figure, which is a Imperial Hovertank pilot, and this guy is beyond awesome. I mean, we have seen the new kinds of troopers in the movie, of course, and they are great, but as a figure, this one really takes the cake. I mean, the new stormtroopers, they look cool, but they're stormtroopers. Death troopers are kind of nice as well, but they're black, so it's really hard to see a lot of detail. But these guys are just amazing. I really like these. I wish I had 100 of them, but for the time being, this is fine. He comes with a standard angry clone face, so no secondary face. And the printing on the front is just amazing. The matchup between the legs and the torso is just great. Back is nothing special, but overall this figure is amazing. I think the helmet really, it's the best helmet that I have seen in a while. So this guy comes with a medium-sized blaster, and we get 2 of them in this set. So this guy is identical to his friend over there. Also an angry clone face, everything is the same. Except for that he comes with a large size blaster, which is the only difference between these two, and I'll come back to that later because there's actually a reason for that. But now let's start with the actual build. That is the hover tank itself. I'll just move the figures to the side for a second to move this in the front because, man, this looks awesome. I think that this really captures the feeling from the movie. And, you know, feature-wise, this is a pretty cool item. So let's start with all the features. And then I have to start in the front because I'll be moving it around. But the first feature is these transparent wheels that are on the bottom of the tank. And they just stick out, so they give you the appearance that it's actually a hover tank, which is in the name, of course. So it's kind of important that it has that look. And I think it has. It also gives you the opportunity to kind of give it a push and then it will, you know, move. So I think that's a great improvement. I've been seeing this in more sets. Also in the Last Jedi sets are some sets that actually have wheels on the bottom. So I think that's a good development. I think it really captures the hover effect more than the inverted round tiles that they used before. So that's function number one. Let's start with all the weapons because there's a lot of stuff going on. As you can see, there's some stuff on the sides here that needs to you know, kind of simulate the blasters, which is pretty cool. You can turn them. You cannot turn them sideways. So you actually have to turn the tank sideways to do that. And there is one on the bottom over here. And as you can see, there is two actual spring-loaded missiles over there. So I guess they're supposed to be coming out of this one. And you just have to imagine that these can shoot as well. Coming to that function, there is two of these cogwheels on the sides, and you can actually use those to just put it down for a second, shoot the spring-loaded missiles. So I think that's really cool. There's a lot of sets that have the spring-loaded missiles on a place where you can actually see the back end of the translucent bars. These are completely, you know, inside of the tank. The mechanism is really subtle and it works great, so I'm really happy with that. So that's an amazing feature. Concerning, you know, the rest of the tank and the inside, there is two hatches. So there is this one that you can actually, okay, you should be able to open that up. That's a little bit of a design flaw, but you can actually open up this hatch and have a look inside. And we do, and I'll just open up the second hatch as well, just to have some lighting. You can actually see that there is a seat over there for 2 feet, and there's a seat over here. There's not an actual control panel, so that's a little bit weird. But there's place for 2 minifigs. But something that I found very important to the design of this tank is that if you open this hatch and you take, for example, the one with the medium-sized blaster, I'll just take his blaster off for a moment, is that you can stand him inside of the tank. And that actually looks like the guy in the movie that is looking from his tank over to the battlefield. So I think this is really awesome. It looks great. There's place for 2 of these. That's why you get 2 tank drivers, I guess. So that's amazing. If we close this hatch again, then we can see on the top that there is this strange kind of tube. And that is the reason why you get one larger size blaster, because on the box it says that you can mount one of your blasters, and the larger one is mentioned on top of this tube, so like this. And then one of them could be standing behind them and be shooting it. So let's put him over here. And he could be firing that gun. So I think that's neat, although I have to say that I think it looks better without the figure. But it's a neat feature. I like it. I have seen it in battle packs as well, but it works much better on this tank. The only downside is that I think that this should actually have been around here and turn it that way so that you could do something like this. I think this works better because it's kind of weird to have this on top of the, I'm not sure if I'm placing that right. I think it's over here. On top of the hatch, but if you open the hatch to put a figure, then the gun is gone. So that's kind of a weird feature, but I think it looks pretty cool with the gun on. Just aesthetically, that's just better. So that's all the guns and the hatches and stuff like that. But this machine is also a transport, and to be a transport, you need to have cargo. So it has one cargo capsule or box that you can attach to the back of this vehicle. So there's 2 places with studs that you can actually place this container on. It will stick, and there's room for a second one. And that's, in my opinion, a major flaw for this set, is that it feels really incomplete to have only one of these containers. I mean, they look great, but there's room for 2, so give me 2, because nobody has these pieces lying around to build one of your own. These, the color orange is just not something that you have all these pieces of. So there's only really a handful of people, the big mock builders, that maybe be able to build a second container for this tank. I know there's sets with containers in them as well, so I think that's the reason that they want you to buy, I think, the Battle of Scarif, so you can actually put the second container on there. But I think it would have been better to have 2 with this set. Just makes it more complete, especially for the price that we Europeans have to pay for this set. So that's everything about the set. I'm going to put the figures over here. So some final thoughts. I think the biggest pro of the set, and that there is lots of features and stuff that moves and shoots, and posability to this set. So there's a lot going on, a lot of play value, some great minifigures, don't get me wrong. But the biggest con is, I think, that the set kind of feels incomplete, because we get 2 tank pilot and no regular stormtrooper, or no regular resistance trooper, rebel trooper. So that's kind of weird, I think, because this tank was kind of escorted by stormtroopers. I would have expected maybe 1 normal stormtrooper and 1 tank pilot, or maybe 2 tank pilots and 1 stormtrooper, or maybe 1 rebel trooper, 1 stormtrooper, and then turret and 1 tank trooper. The minifigure selection is a little bit off. Something is missing, and it feels incomplete. And the same goes for the second container that they did not include. It makes the whole thing feel incomplete. It looks empty over there, and that's kind of weird. But still, overall, I think this is a great set. I do have to say that the price difference, because the US price is $30, and in Europe it's 40 euros. For 30 bucks, yeah, no brainer. Just get the set, and it's great value. You get 1 minifigure per 10 bucks and a great vehicle, so that's amazing. For 40 euros, I'm not sure. I should wait for sale. I know I did. I got this for I think 31. So a little bit over that $30 mark, but still it's a great value. But I think 40 is a little bit overpriced, especially because there's no second container and no stormtrooper included. So that's a little bit of a pity. But yeah, overall still a great set. So guys, that was the review. I really hope you liked it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. As always, there are more reviews and time lapses on the way, and I will see you at the next video.